Hello everybody, this is our final required exercise for our Onshape training. It starts off with an existing part, this chunk that we are going to turn into a vase. The written instructions are here in PDF form. I'm not going to come back here because the load times are pretty slow. We're going to take that existing piece and turn it into this picture by making a handle with the sweep tool. We're going to hollow out the vase with the shell tool, and then we're going to put this fancy edge on there, among a few other things. So the first thing we want to do is make the handle by finding the sketches that are the parts that we're going to sweep to make the handle. So as I hover over these different sketches, I see that sketch 1 was used to make the body of the picture. Sketch 2, I have no idea what that was used for, but it does look like it could make like a nice little base for it. And then keep going down. Sketch 3 was involved in making the spigot. Sketch 4 we're going to use later. But sketch 5 has this little part on it that we're going to use. So I'm going to unhide that because we're going to take this two-dimensional little like guitar pick shaped guy here. There we go. I got it. And we are going to sweep it along this sketch, which I'm also going to show because it was currently hidden. I think I'm going to like this view for now. All right, so I'm going to use the sweep tool, which is right here, sweep. If I click on it, it's going to ask me what face do I want to sweep, and so that's the little guitar pick. See if I can get it to show up. Come on, buddy. No, I don't want that thing. Get rid of face and revolve. I want the little guitar pick. So I'm going to hide this part, and then I will be able to get the guitar pick. And the sweep path is this guy right here. That line, and then also this one, and then bring it on over to here. I was unable to make it sweep past that before until I went back to sketch 6, clicked in there, grabbed that line, and made it a solid line instead of a construction line. Then after I did that, I was able to go back to sweep 1 and bring that extra line in there to get the full handle. It doesn't matter if you don't do that right now because we're going to cut that part off anyways. So now I'll bring part 1 back and you can see that we got that handle there. And having trouble panning here. Oh, I did, or scrolling around. Okay, so next step was to hollow this bad boy out using the shell tool, which is right here, shell. I'm going to select this face right here and it gives me a preview and it says, yeah, look, we can make that into a pitcher with a hole there so you could actually put liquid in it. It says the shell thickness should be 0.25 inches. If you're modeling for our 3D printer, you have to be really careful about using the shell tool because our printer can't print shells that are really thin. So even though the model program will let you do it, if you're printing stuff for a 3D, making stuff for a 3D printer, you need to keep your shell walls pretty thick. All right, next step is to get those protruding handles out of there, out of the inside. In order to do this, we actually have to make these two parts one part. Let me save my shell tool, and then we see that down here I now have two parts, part 1 which is the picture and part 2 which is the handle. I want to, and they're showing in different colors because they are separate parts. I'm going to select them both, and over here we have what's called the Boolean operation. This allows us to add parts together, subtract parts, intersect parts, and I'm adding them together. Notice now I have one part over here and it's all one color. So now that I have this one part, I can do the next step, which is to delete these parts that are coming into the center. I will be using a tool up here called Delete Face. If I want to delete a face, I can select it there and also, and then that shows as a little bit invisible there. It says it's working. I can also delete that and that. And once I grab the part on the edge, it'll stop giving me red and it'll say, yes, we can indeed delete all that stuff. And it's giving me a preview that it would be gone. And so, yes, there we go. So now those parts are missing. And I have what looks an awful lot like a pretty nice picture. But the last thing I want to do to complete this exercise is give it that fancy edge on the top. So to do this, I will need to show another sketch, which is this guy right here. This sketch, when I show it, actually that's not what I want to show. It's down here. I learned this the first time I did this. This surface right here is made by extruding that line. I want to show this surface. So that was there already. It was made by taking sketch 4 and extruding it. And this is what I'm going to use to give the picture my fancy edge. So now the tool is right here. It is called Replace Face. The face to replace will be this guy right there, the top edge. And what am I going to replace it with? This surface. Check. Yes. The instructions say to hide that again. And I'm actually going to hide all those other sketches that I showed up earlier. And yeah, look at that. Last thing we are going to do is fillet the edge. We're going to round out the edge. Let me zoom in on it and click on the fillet tool. The entities to fillet will be that outside edge, the inside edge, and then grab all these little bits right here. Make this 0.05, which is what they want, and then maybe some of this stuff will show up instead of being, yeah, because I have this clicked here, tangent propagation. It pretty much propagates that fillet along all the lines that are smooth with it, so that makes it a lot easier. I didn't actually have to select all that stuff. All right, I'm done. I'm going to go back to part 1. I'm going to look at the volume of this part, and it is 149.586 cubic inches. If you got something like that, then you did just what I did. Congratulations.